It starts every morning before the sun comes up. Projects are laid out. Plans are made. Equipment is fueled and loaded with inventory to handle all service requests. Orders are given to an army of skilled landscape maintenance professionals, certified arbor trimmers, irrigation technicians, and licensed pest management experts who fan out to communities and businesses all over South Florida. Experienced, on time, and dependable. Our staff is fully trained, licensed, and insured. Contact us by phone, email, social media, or through our website to answer all your landscape questions. We are Cutter's Edge, Total Landscape Solutions.
After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welton Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welton Rayom can help.
We are live. It is Talking Racing now. It is 7 p on Monday, and they were in Iowa. The Iowa Corn 300. Oh, man. I love me some corn on the cob, bro. I am Sean Stanley. He's the great Spencer O'Neill, a.k.a. No Doubt. Sir, how are you doing? How was the weekend?
The weekend was jam-packed, man. Jam-packed. Lots of wrestling, a little bit of racing.
Yeah. It was difficult, though. I was happy that the race ended just before the start of night 2 there. It was actually good timing. I didn't want any more accidents because cautions breed cautions, and there was a lot more yellow than I wanted to see. But yellow's a good thing when it's the Corn 300. You want lots of yellow.
Yeah, the start finish line was like a corn cob. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, no, it's a very interesting race, but I just it's so different because you have 6 different strategies throughout the race. And even though those strategies were there, the race was really controlled to me by 2, maybe 3, if you want to throw people in this race. They controlled the race. To me, it was Byron, it was Keselowski, and then you had a couple guys that jumped up there in different things. Austin Cindric was a player. Well, what's funny in this race is your normal guys really weren't up there.
Yeah.
Your Larsons, Elliott was up there a couple times. Don't get me wrong. He ran well, don't get me wrong. But he wasn't, like a factor, I guess. Hamlin was stuck in the back of the field.
Yeah, no shit.
All your normal guys that are up there racing, it was very odd. It's just like couldn't get nothing going. And Keselowski is just running, man. And then you throw in, Cindric was looking good. William Byron, you're just waiting for something to happen with him because that's what happens with William Byron usually is lately has been, he's a little snake bitten, it felt. he got that off his back now. We'll see how that turns the team around. But overall, like, I mean, there was a lot of like just and Hamlin was involved in one of them. Just a lot of it looked like silly driving because they would do the same thing, get up underneath the car, and then you kind of like have to save it or you're going to take out the. Why go 3 wide?
Yeah.
Every time you went 3 wide, it was an issue. And then they tried 4 wide at one point. I don't know what the hell people are thinking there. And it's like, man, so overall, I know you like Iowa. I'm not as big a fan as you are of Iowa. I know it's only like the second time they've been there and since they got it, back on the thing and everything like that. But it was very interesting because they were like, Steve Letart's like, oh, it's going to be fuel. No, it's going to be tires. Oh, it's going to be interesting to see what it is. And then they go 144 laps on fuel and tires to win the race. So was it really the tires and the fuel?
No. So, I think the tires and the fuel kind of messed up Austin Cindric, right? So I was sitting there screaming at my television. Blaney ended up finishing pretty well, but Blaney was kind of in the same boat. Him and Josh Berry, Ryan Blaney, Austin Cindric, the Fords, they were all kind of up front in the middle of the race there. And the parade of cautions came and everybody started coming in and getting their tires and getting their gas. And the Fords just kept staying out and they kept staying out. And I was wondering, I'm like, what are you waiting for? Like, you're up front now, but these people are cycling. And essentially what happened is Austin Cindric does what's essentially the last pit stop. He goes back to the back of the field. He did well. He was one of the few people I saw passing with ease. Yeah. He drove from 28th all the way up to 13th or 12th. And that's where he finished the race. So like he was a fast car. He would have won the race if it had been a little different. I don't know what the strategy was or what they were looking for. I heard him say that, the cautions threw us off. And in what way did all the cautions throw you off? You could have taken a pit just like anybody else. William Byron did end up running out of gas. He ran out of gas on the burnout, but he did end up running out of gas. Yeah. So he was pretty close there, but he had enough. And what I thought was interesting is, we saw it happen with Keselowski, and then we saw the same thing happen with Blaney. They closed that gap as Byron was saving gas. They closed that gap. And then once they got within like a second and a half, Byron wasn't doing anything different, but they just started giving up that speed that they had. I mean, Blaney was taking off a half a second a lap, and he got to where Keselowski was, and they both were just mired in whatever it was that they were mired in, and they couldn't catch up. So, William Byron won that race, but I thought William Byron was holding up the pack earlier in the race. I didn't think he had a particularly great car.
He was driving out his window. He was driving out the rear view, and he was staying right in the line to get him dirtied a little bit to where, and that's the thing with the track. It felt like is that, I mean, you kind of get that in the drafting tracks and things like that, but it felt like it did it in this little intermediate. They said this is like a short track, but intermediate. And
that's why I love Iowa.
And it's just like you could get up there and you could almost stall their runs. And then you saw them every once in a while try to get to the quarter panel like they do in the in drafting and everything to try to, and there was a lot of things going on there. And then just like, but to me, it was just like, I don't know, man. It's just like 2 or 3 cars were really the class of the field. And again, I know everybody says, they should get the kudos for being such, leaps and bounds ahead of the others coming off of the track. It just felt like no matter what changes some of the cars were doing,
yeah,
it was the same issues. Like, hey, I'm this, and then by the time, okay, we took a big swing at it, not still doing the same thing. So what the hell?
Dude, Chase Briscoe was taking people out the whole race.
Yeah.
He wrecked like 3 or 4 people.
Yeah, he was up against
He'd get low. He couldn't hold the line. He drifts up. He takes out like 2 or 3 people.
Yeah, he took out his own teammates.
He did it multiple times throughout the race. And it's like, you clearly can't drive the low line. Get out of it. Mm-hmm. But The reason I love Iowa is it's that intermediate thing, right? So it's not a mile; it's just under it. It's like 0.875 or something, 0.879. So it's just under a mile. The embankments aren't super high, but they're decent embankments. The speed gets pretty good. It gets up to about 165. So it's not a super speedway by any means, but it's not. Richmond. It's a fun race. I enjoyed it, and while a lot of the people couldn't really pass, the people that had good cars, that had a good handle on the track, they were driving around people, and they were passing. So I didn't necessarily think it was like what, I can't even remember the race we had last weekend. Like the race last weekend where you just Indianapolis, where you just can't pass.
Yeah.
You just can't pass, right? Like we're playing stay in line and then pass on the pit
But
stop.
on this one, it was like you had. I mean, for instance, the first stage, Keselowski and them battled for 67 laps.
Hell of a battle.
Keselowski was finally able to get the pass on him, and it's like, I just, to me, it's like, and I get it. It's got to be precision driving in a way to set it up, but on TV, it just doesn't look like a good product.
How fitting was it that was sort of the end battle too? Like we started where we ended where we started, right? Like except this time Byron was able to hold him up.
Has it been where the best cars in the field don't finish the race? You know what I mean? Like the ones that dominate the race end up getting taken out by, whether it's a late caution and they go in and get tires, somehow they're back in the back of the field, and then they get taken out by somebody else or whatever. You saw, to me, 2 of the 3 best cars all day long battling for the win.
Yeah.
Which is good. I mean, I don't mind that. It's just, it felt like, other than the restarts and the battles at the beginning, once it strung out, if it wasn't Keselowski chasing down Byron, it was just follow the leader in a way. I mean, there were some battles in the middle, but it just felt like nobody could get really inside because all of a sudden they would lose it. Whenever they went 3 wide, it was definitely they were losing it. And there were sometimes when it was 2 wide, but luckily they hit each other and kind of straightened each other out instead of wrecking each other. And that's kind of the way the race went, and I'm just glad for Keselowski and them, especially for, Keselowski, Ray. What is it?
RFK?
Yeah, but what's the whole thing? It's Keselowski, but what's the isn't one of the guys in it the Cubs owner or whatever?
I don't know. I know the K is
the Red Sox now. He owns the Red Sox now. The guy that owned the Marlins, then he went to the Red Sox. I can't think of his damn name now.
Oh, I don't. Adrian, I know the K is for Keselowski. Yo, Adrian,
we'll talk about Keselowski.
Hold up, Adrian, you killed it this weekend, man. Good job, for real.
Oh, don't fill up.
He did. He filled
the man's head up. The only thing he did great was he filled the swear jar. All right, he filled the swear jar. That's what he did good.
He filled up my weekend with entertainment.
No, he did. One hell of a job. Orchestrating everything all this weekend with pre and post. And if you didn't see it, 2 Raw for SmackDown. Go check it out. Rainy Day Podcast Network or Rainy Day Pod on YouTube. Check out whole weekend. We had you covered for SummerSlam. But then, that's the second week in a row they finished 2 cars in the top 5.
Okay.
At least that's what they said on TV. I'm just going with what they said.
No, I believe you. I believe you.
I'm not going to sit here and act like I did a whole lot of research on this. I'm not going to lie to you. But they said, or maybe 2 of the last 3 weeks they've had top 5s in the. So they felt like there's a change of brewing.
Super Bowl, is it him and Ryan Preece? Is that who's with?
Preece is the 60. That's his 3rd car.
Okay,
that's his 3rd car. Yep.
Yeah, Preece had an opportunity this weekend to try to cement his way as well as Brad, cement his way into the playoffs, and they didn't get it done. So
how much is Iowa in any way close to what Richmond runs or no?
You mean like speed?
Yeah.
I believe Iowa's faster. I believe it's longer, isn't it?
Well, no. I'm just wondering because I'm like, are we going to see kind of the same cars to the front? Because I think we got Watkins Glen this week and then Richmond the week after, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, like, again, Watkins Glen's a kind of a toss up. Chris Buescher did win it last year. If he wins it, he's in. William Byron already had a win, so this is his second win, so he moves up a little bit.
Yeah.
But again, now there's 3 races to go and 4 spots still open. So now one person is definitely going to make it. That's kind of in there. And I think that's going to be Tyler Reddick, if I'm not mistaken. I believe he's still got a commanding lead.
So it's 14, 15, and 16. There's 3 spots available for points. And Reddick does have a Bubba Wallace won. Bubba Wallace won Indianapolis, and that put him in. That was 13.
Yeah, but I thought we had it to where there was 4 because we had 4 races left with 4 positions left. So it was 4 races left, 3 positions left. Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah, Bubba took that 13th spot. Although he's higher up than 13 because he was winning stages all year.
Yeah, I'm looking at the playoffs right now. Bubba's sitting in 9th right now. Tyler Reddick has got plus 122, so he's pretty much in. I would say Tyler Reddick is in. Alex Bowman and Chris Buescher have to win to get in.
Yeah, so...
I mean, if somebody... I'm sorry, hold on a minute. Let me rephrase this. I'm getting ahead of myself. If a new winner wins and it's not Bowman or Buescher, they're sliding out, is what I'm trying to say. Reddick will be in because he's 60 points ahead. That's a race and a half of just points of Tyler Reddick getting nothing, and Tyler Reddick is the king of stage points somehow. I don't know how the hell he does it, but
no,
he
Reddick's
picks
fine.
Stage points all the time, man.
Bowman just needs to finish his races
and hope that nobody crazy wins.
Even if they do win, if he finishes in the 20s, he's in the playoffs. He's got a pretty good lead.
No, Bowman.
Yeah, well, he's got 80.
But I'm saying
he's got 86 points on Ryan Preece.
No, but there's 3 races left. If any of them if you get 2 winners, new winners, you're going to knock out Bowman and Buescher.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, and again, Buescher has won at Watkins Glen last year. So if you want to say he wins this race, now you've got Reddick in 15th, Bowman in 16th. Austin Dillon won Richmond last year, which if he wins that again, that'll put him up. And then Tyler Reddick sits at 16th. And guess what? Harrison Burton won the Daytona race last year, which was a new winner. And then now you pushed Reddick out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, these 3 races could get very interesting to where we could finally get that year where you had to win to get in. And it kind of, and again, I know we sat here and I sit here every week and it's like, I can't stand the playoffs thing, but it does make for good TV because now these races mean more.
Right.
At least the stories of the races mean more to where you can, and again, it's what it is about episodic TV. And to me, NASCAR is episodic TV. Every week you get an episode. Yep. Are you going to be into it or are you not going to be into it? There's got to be storylines. There's got to be something to hook you. Everybody's going to get hooked differently. Some people might just want to watch for the wrecks. Some people want to watch because their favorite driver. But there's something there that's going to hook you. Yeah, the fights. There's something there that's going to hook you to bring you into said race. And it does at least give, now NBC an opportunity to at least, get viewers in by storylines. Like, so, I mean, again, it's where I don't like it. I do not like the playoff system, but I do understand as you look at it, because again, I mean, it gets very intriguing on what could happen in these races when you go to watch these last 3. Whereas if you're just point racing, what does it mean right now? Because in the grand scheme of things, in the actual, if we were just point racing right now, William Byron is 18 points ahead of Chase Elliott. Larson's 45 points behind. Hamlin's 51. And Christopher Bell's 86. So now it's getting further and further behind. It's almost Elliott and Byron now because unless, Denny like clean sweeps or Larson, it's 43. Usually have 40 cars in a race. Now this year's been like 37, 38 and some. So
Glenn's got 40 entrants.
Huh?
Watkins Glen has 40 entrants.
40. So there's 40 points at least before you get to the stage points. So, Larson would just adding the 40 to his, he's still 5 points behind Byron. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so again, if you're looking at that's kind of racing, then you're looking at Byron and Elliott running away with it by as races go on, but again, you would have more races into the year, not just 3 leading into the playoffs. So,
well, you've also only got so many more weekends left before the NFL starts.
That's true.
So, like the ending of the season being right here at the end of August, that's intentional. What happens 2 weeks after Daytona? We start real games.
Yeah,
and
no.
The preseason
games.
The
playoffs start when football starts, which kind of sucks. But it is what it is at this point. I mean, it's the only season that feels like it takes the whole year. Starts in February and ends in November.
Yes. And unless you're going to shorten it significantly, it's going to, it's always going to have to compete with football when it's, the most important races of the year.
And then they race on Sundays. So that's the other thing. It's like,
they race on Sundays and they keep pushing it back. So, they're competing with the West Coast games essentially.
Yeah. But then again, you race Saturday, you're going against college football. So, I mean, and football's king regardless. It's college, if it's pros. The weekends are, I don't know what they're going to do there. It's going to be very interesting. But we'll see, man. We'll see. But overall, Iowa, I gave it a B.
That's fair.
I gave it a B, man. Because and again, I think a lot of it was like the Summer Slams. The ending helped out the whole race because all the cautions kept tightening it up a little bit, and then it was the long, it's just like in Indianapolis. It's like, okay, you're waiting for, he's going to run out of gas. Okay, he's going to run out of gas. Something's going to happen to Byron because he's been snake bitten since he's won the Daytona 500. It felt like, he's always had something. And I mean, hell, he should have won last week and he ran out of gas. He was leading last week going with 1 lap or 2 laps left because Hamlin took the white. But he had to pit with 1 lap, going to the white flag. He went in to the pits and Hamlin took over and finished.
Yep.
And it's at that point, you're snake bitten, my man. So
he's a new gas man.
I think a lot of this is, man, I get all the relying on these, whatever you want to call metrics or whatever it is, but you can't tell me that they're everybody's like, oh, Hamlin's only got I get that green white checker you're adding 3 laps on or 2 laps on, whatever it is. I get that, but Hamlin probably could have done at least 1 more green white checker lap. Now Byron this week was he went to do the burnout, he got a little bit and then it was done.
Mm-hmm.
But he'd already done 144 laps, and I get caution laps and I get all that. They have no idea how much gas they're saving. Even Steve Letarte, when they went to watch the, I'm going to mess this word up because I do it every week, telemetry.
That was it.
He's not even in the gas down. He's cruising around the thing and they're not catching up to him. That's how he's, and so how as an engineer or whatever they are, how are they even able to know what's really going on in that car and how much gas those guys are saving or using? I mean, I know they got the same things that they're looking at it and they're way smarter than we are, but it feels like, as you said, with the strategies, it's so what is your racer that bad at saving gas that you were that far off on your calculations compared to everybody else?
Well, Byron did one of the first pit stops during those round of cautions.
Mm-hmm.
So he was literally just the one with the least gas. It just turned out that way. And then because he had expected to come in again. But because they had so many cautions and they ran so many laps, I mean, it was 10 cautions. I mean, that's 50 laps or so in the middle of the race or towards the end of the race where you're not burning anything. You're just cruising, and that's what got them to the end. And as far as the strategy with the gas, like in this race, it kind of felt like that was more of an adjustment in mid race than something that had started throughout. That was, for instance, I was talking earlier about Austin Cindric waiting and waiting and waiting to go in. I think that they were depending on their initial math, which was everyone else is going to have to come in once. So let's wait as long as we can to come in first. And then when it cycles through, we'll be the one standing. Like that was the idea. They got gas. They were the last ones to come in so that they didn't have to come in again. And they were going to be the ones that were going to jump everybody. That was the idea, but it ended up being the opposite way. They came in last, so they had to drive through the field and didn't make it very far. And that hurt Barry. And
this doesn't seem like something like to me. There just seems something's off on some of their strategies then, because you're saying that you're thinking these guys are going to run out of gas, and I get it. Not all of them did as many laps as Byron did, but they still did more laps than what Cindric did.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm using Cindric just because we're using that example, but I mean, I'll go with my guy Hamlin. All day long, he couldn't get nothing going, man.
Yeah, well, he just didn't have a good race. Sometimes it's not your day.
No, and it happens. But I'm saying, but it's like all of these cars, none of them were having, like Kyle Busch at the beginning was up there. Then the thing that happens in the pits with Bowman, and then I don't know what, he flicks off Bowman, and apparently Bowman has a guardian angel on him, and he just sits on Kyle Busch's car and weighs it down the rest of the race.
Yeah.
Because Busch didn't do nothing after he flicks off Bowman. I mean, It's just like I don't get how, and again, they're paid lots of money to make all these strategies up and everything. And it's just like, how can some strategies be so, I guess, made to look so bad? Because again, Byron runs out of gas or you get a green, white checker or something, then you're a genius. It's, again, you're just that close. You're either an idiot or you're a genius.
Well, that's the thing, though. You don't have the car that day, right? Okay, I don't have the car. We know we don't have the car. So if we're going to win this race, we got to do something else. And that's when you start taking risk, and that's why you have all these quote unquote strategies. Not strategies; they're risk. People know they can't win running straight up, so they got to do something else. So they pit early, or they pit late, or they don't pit, or there's only really so many things you can do. You can adjust your car and you can decide to pit or not pit. Like besides that, your driver has to drive. So it really all comes down to when you come in and when you don't. If you can come up with another strategy that I'm not familiar with, please let me know. But that's all I know of is gas, running tires longer, and tires were not an issue in this race. They had talked about it, but I never saw a single person.
No, they're like tires are beating up, but I never saw anybody have an issue or go down or
no.
Everything was just crappy driving in a way, just like
the people that were loose, the people that were loose that couldn't control their cars, they couldn't control their car with fresh tires, old tires. It didn't matter.
No, didn't matter at all what you did, or you loosened them up, you tightened them up, whatever you wanted to do. It felt like this race was just like I don't understand why. I'm talking out of ignorance because I could go sit on those boxes and have no clue. I have no clue what the hell I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Like when they're like, oh, we got to adjust this. Oh, you hit this, you do this, you release the pressure, you raise the pressure. No, I don't know any of that stuff. But those guys are paid good money, and this track made them look silly. And the drivers too. These are supposed to be the best drivers in the world, and they're playing bumper cars out there like I'm at Grand Prix racing go-karts.
How much of that comes from not having practice, though? Why are we not practicing? I don't understand.
Because they're trying to save that money, because they ain't getting that money for them charters anymore. NASCAR keeping that money. I can't spend extra gas, tires. No, you don't pay me enough, NASCAR, to do that.
I know. What are we talking about? Practice, but you got to practice some.
Practice.
That's how you get your car tuned in. You don't show up and qualify, but apparently we do now. So
I thought that would end, man, honestly. Although I think it is ending.
what? Not practicing?
Yeah, because yeah, it was NBC, right? They even said they're going to be moving the. Hold on a minute. Let me find out what it was. It was NASCAR practice and qualifying. They gave
And
him
also,
50 minutes to practice.
yeah. Also, but hold up.
It's going to TNT, I think. I think TNT is going to have. No, it can't be TNT.
But when I'm talking about
It'll be
practicing,
an NBC.
I'm not talking about 50 minutes before you qualify.
Yeah, I know. I got you. Actually,
Like
doing it on
like
Thursday and Friday, like they used
Thursday
to
and
do.
Friday.
Yeah.
Yes, like we should be.
Trucks
You
got
should be
in
out
on
there.
Wednesday. You practice on Thursday. You did a day and usually an afternoon practice on Thursday. Friday
Right.
you got one practice because you usually had trucks running. Saturday you did your qualifying. Sunday you ran.
Even if you want to cut that down to like an afternoon, I'm fine. But it shouldn't be the day you qualify. Like if you're qualifying on Saturday, you should be practicing on Friday so that your team has a day to get it right.
I don't know what to tell you. Don't know what
I
to
don't
tell you,
know.
buddy.
Anyways,
It's the new NASCAR, baby. The new NASCAR.
Yeah.
Although, like I said, NBC was advertising that they're going to have practice and qualifying, just like what Prime did, where they were like, "Oh, So I think ultimately, what's going to happen is they're going to get the practices back because they're going to sell them to Prime Video or whatever, and Prime's going to end up running the practices and everything all year long.
Probably from that in-car
Yeah.
camera.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you can go
That'd be
there
cool
and you
though.
can do whatever you want to do. You know what I'm saying? So ultimately, it's an avenue to make money. At some point, it's going to become a reality again. And I think you get it back to Thursday and Friday because now I'm selling you more content, or you stage it and you say, okay, Group A practices Thursday, Group B practices Friday, and then you try to, pattern around how you want to do that or whatever. But you're gonna get that, I think, back to where they can sell it and make money. And then the TV sponsor will go and try to find a sponsor for it. So sooner or later you'll have the 7-Eleven qualifying lap or something, and it's all about making money. And those are the avenues NASCAR has to make money.
Yeah, and if you really want to nerd out, you can go to the in-car camera for practice and listen to him talk to his mechanics and his crew chief.
Oh, I keep my NASCAR app on the all scan
Yeah.
during the thing. All I hear is all I heard was like goddamn window flap out there, son. My thing's I'm just hit the ground.
That was funny.
What
I
the
didn't
hell
see the
happened
replay
there?
of how that happened. I just saw it on the
I
track.
They say they never showed the replay, man.
Yeah,
I
they
feel
may
like
not have had
they
it.
took a water bottle and just said, "I need a caution." Boom, old school it, old school it. So yeah, so we'll see, man. I don't mind the whole Iowa thing. I just, you know what, you get spoiled, man, when you get like the speedway races and you see how tight it gets and like things like that, and then you go and you, again, these guys are driving the guys and gals are driving their asses off. Nothing I could ever do close to it, but it's like I'm sitting here being like, oh yeah, that race wasn't that race didn't do it for me, man. And I get it that there's a lot of strategy and everything there, but and you know what? I love what's his name? Lynn? What's the guy, the announcer? Dude.
Sorry, you say Liam. I think Eichenberg. So I don't even know.
Yeah, I shouldn't have said that, right? Yeah, my bad. Set you up for failure on that one.
I'm getting heart attacks over here.
Dude, I love what he's brought to NASCAR, man. He makes it sound better. I'm not taking away from anybody else.
The Australian guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's good.
Is he Australian? Is that what he is? Australian?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's great.
Dude, I just love the accent. And then you get Letarte and Burton there, and it's like it just feels like, okay, this is racing, car racing. This is car racing. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's I know a lot of people were upset when they brought him in. Like, what is this? This ain't NASCAR. No, man. I
It's
like
NASCAR.
it, dude.
Yeah.
I like it, man. Him and I love Mike Joy. Always love Mike Joy.
Mm-hmm.
Adam, I love him as well. I like all the main guys and the analysts, of course. The announcing's never been an issue of it. It just feels like sometimes they stretch for stories to try to make the TV viewing watchable, I guess, in a way, like to keep you tuned in. Like, oh, you got to watch this, and it's like, bro, are you guys watching the same thing I'm watching? And again, I get it that Burton and Letarte can look at a car where they're looking at it. They're at the track and they see it sideways. On TV, it doesn't look as sideways as what they say.
Right.
Once they go, then they're like, oh, maybe they need to show more replays of what they're talking about, because on TV it's like that car didn't get loose, and probably did 100%. But on TV, it doesn't look as bad. And then when you go back and you're like, they go back and they do show some of the time they're loose.
I saw a lot of cars loose this weekend. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was almost like dirt up there. I mean, it was wild.
Yeah, like Bristol.
Yeah.
They're bouncing off each other down to, like, what are we doing? What are we doing, peoples?
We're having fun. That's what we're doing.
Yeah, I know you like Iowa.
But you notice that even with all the contact, I didn't really see any like major wrecks. Most people drove away.
Yeah, I think the only one that didn't was Zane Smith, because he backed in. The ones that backed in didn't go away. I mean, SVG was like, dude, I had somebody on my timeline, not that I follow, but I guess because I was like trying to keep up with the NASCAR stuff, I type in NASCAR and I guess they were tagging it in or whatever. And they're like, can somebody let SVG know it's an oval? That's all I kept tagging. It was like 7 tweets.
He was sideways 2 or 3 times. Yeah.
Like,
yeah, it was like 2 or 3 times he was sideways. Yeah. It was a lot.
It was not a great race for him. And even our boy Ty Dillon. Again, it was Chase Briscoe was bouncing on people. Ty Dillon went in there. Just a lot of happenings was going on.
Yeah, when Cindric went back to 27th, I was afraid.
Yeah, that he wouldn't get to finish the race.
I was like, he's gonna finish this race. Yeah, this is over. Yeah.
Yeah. It just, man, dude. And honestly, look, I mean, Brad Keselowski drove back up, but it took him so long during the race, because I think it was like the beginning to middle of stage 2 to like the beginning of stage 3 when he finally, and I don't even know, now thinking back, I don't even remember if it was like cautions or any other things that helped him actually strategically get back up, but he wasn't running back up. He had a fast car and he was passing people, but he wasn't, again, it was like you get to a certain point and the Iowa racetrack was like, okay, far enough. I've let you go far enough. Now you're going to sit there. And
well, at one point in time, they were talking about the race being, because they thought people were going to have to keep pitting.
Mm-hmm.
They were talking about the race being between like 7th and 8th, and it was like Briscoe and somebody else. I forget who was in 7th at that time. They were like, "Oh, this is the race for the win."
Oh yeah, it was oh God. I even, because I watched a little bit of the recap today and I heard it again and I started laughing because it was the 42. What's his name?
Eric Jones, right?
No, Jones is the 43.
He's 43. 42.
42.
Who else is driving Legacy? I can't remember off the top of my head right now.
John Hunter Nemechek. It was John Hunter Nemechek. They said it's between John Hunter and Chase Briscoe. That's what you need to watch for. That's the race.
And when he said that, I started laughing because I'm like, I mean, have you been watching Chase Briscoe in this race? He's hit like 3 people. If you put him out front, he's going in the wall. If you put Chase Briscoe out front, he's going in the wall when there's nobody to hit when he gets loose in the corner. Like he's not going to win this race.
That is the craziest thing, man. So overall in the standings, just so you get an idea here, Brett Keselowski up 5 spots to number 19.
Wow.
SVG is now up 2 spots. He went up in a race, and he got the 25th. So he's now at 25th. Austin Dillon also up 2 spots. Chase Elliott and William Byron switched 1 and 2 again. So now William Byron is back on top by 18 points. And yeah, I mean, everybody else. Ryan Preece went up 1, and Ross Chastain went down 1. It's going to be interesting, man. Next 3 races, Watkins Glen. What are you expecting, I guess? Just a small little bit, not a full preview of the race, but do you think, I'll just put it this way, do you think we get a new winner, or does somebody that already has a win pull off this race?
I mean, it's hard to say anybody but SVG is going to win. Also, Zilich is going to be there. So I'm going to stick with SVG. I think we're going to have another win by SVG. Or if we do get another win, it's going to be Zilich, and it's not going to matter because he hasn't raced all year. But Buescher is interesting. You won last year, so obviously you've shown you can win. I don't know. But I'm going to be rooting for a new car this weekend. So I wore the Syracuse shirt for a reason.
Who's sponsored by Syracuse? Who's sponsoring Syracuse this week?
So Syracuse football NIL, which is interesting, is sponsoring JJ Yeley.
Yaley? JJ Yaley?
Yeah, we're going to be rocking the 44 this weekend.
Oh my goodness. JJ Yaley. Well, he's a race car. He's a driver.
He is a race car driver, yes.
No, I mean, street course driver is what I was trying to say. He's the whatever, the fucking,
But
Yaley. So, wow, man. That's good, man. Good for him, bro.
Yeah, so
honestly, man, I'm happy whenever any of these guys get a chance to hop in a car and run, man.
So for people that don't know, Syracuse is in upstate New York. It's like central New York. Watkins Glen is also in New York. Watkins Glen is a town, but it's near a place called Corning, which is also what you think it is. It's a manufacturing town where they make glass, Corningware, which is like 30 minutes from Ithaca, which is where Cornell is. And
Can I tell you something?
Yeah, what's up?
I was offered, I was looked at by Ithaca when they started their football program in 93, 94.
Yeah.
We were going to be their first class. And I mean, nothing ever came of it, but it was funny. I was like, Ithaca? Where the hell is Ithaca? I've never heard of that. I mean, I've heard of Florida State. I've heard of Florida.
Yeah.
Ithaca. They're like, oh, no, we're in upstate New York. I'm like, it gets cold.
I didn't know Ithaca existed until Road Trip. Remember that movie, Road Trip? They all went to Ithaca.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And I didn't know Cornell was in Ithaca until probably when I went to Syracuse. I had no idea where Cornell was.
Yeah, Cornell. I still don't know where's that. That's I guess up there where you're.
It's in Ithaca. It's in Ithaca, New York.
Wait, there's 2 colleges there?
Yeah, Ithaca's an awesome town. Ithaca's an awesome college town.
So they got that much room though, because they were showing their the football field that they built. I was like, man, okay, all right, this looks pretty decent. Looks something doable. But again, it was I think at that time though, I don't even know if they were Division II or Division III at that time. Because they could only give you, I think the most they could offer was a half scholarship or something like that. That's the most because of what they could, So it's but yeah, so wow, that's interesting. Okay. But wow, Ithaca, that big, huh?
So based on the Syracuse getting a car this weekend, I now have a question for you.
Ithaca.
Do you know the other schools that have had a car that has driven for them in the Cup Series?
Ooh, Cup Series. Ooh.
Now, I will say this. I put it in ChatGPT, so I didn't have time to check it. So if some of these are wrong, I apologize.
No,
I'll tell you.
I'm going to say the Texas Longhorns.
Okay,
No?
well that's wrong. Just keep going.
Okay, no, I'm just trying to think of like, I guarantee you, like the Georgia Bulldogs were probably on one.
Surprisingly, no.
Wow. Okay. All right. I'll go Alabama.
Yep, Alabama.
Yeah. Okay.
Josh
Okay.
Berry drove a University of Alabama car last
Oh,
year.
you know what? I think I mixed up one. I don't think it was Texas. I believe it might have been Tennessee with the orange.
Yep, Ryan Priest drove a Tennessee car in
I believe that was a Bristol
2023 and 2024.
in
And I believe it
Bristol,
was
right?
at Bristol. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. That's where I'm trying to. Now I'm trying to think of like who. California, the Bears, or UCLA, one of the California schools. I guarantee you. No.
No, I haven't. No, there's no California
Missed
schools.
opportunities here. A lot of missed opportunities.
They're all in the southeast. I'll give you that.
Didn't FAU? No, but I think they were Xfinity, right, or a truck. FAU, FIU did one, or one of them did a car.
I'm pretty sure I've seen the Golden Panther on a Xfinity car
I think it
before,
was
but yeah.
Xfinity though. Yeah, see, that's where I think I'm mixing up some of these.
All right, so we got
Go ahead,
Alabama.
man. All
We
right.
got Alabama. That was Josh Berry last year. University of South Carolina. A lot of these are Stuart Haas. I noticed.
Where was South Carolina? What Darlington, I guess.
It doesn't say where. It just
Oh,
says
okay.
for Stuart Haas and 2023.
Okay.
University of Florida for Stuart Haas was Eric Almirola. It was at Daytona.
Okay. Yeah. No. Yeah. I didn't even think about that. Daytona with Florida. Yeah.
University of North Carolina, Eric Almirola. Once again, Stuart Haas.
Charlotte, probably.
Probably. It doesn't say, but I don't imagine so. Florida State, also for Stuart Haas, was Cole Custer. Doesn't say where it was, though. Ryan Priest, that was Tennessee, I told you about. Clemson, probably Darlington. Once again, Stuart Haas with Cole Custer. And Ryan Priest drove an Appalachian State University car in 2023 for Stuart Haas Racing for the Mountaineers.
Yeah, and that was, I believe, that was also in. I want to say it was a Bristol race.
That would make sense.
I think it was a Bristol race, I believe, because it was a pretty badass looking car. I believe it was the night race they did it. And it was a pretty badass car. With
Yeah,
the
well,
black and gold
they're
with the
black and
lights
yellow.
hitting on it. Yeah,
They're black and yellow. They
Yeah.
got good colors.
Yeah, and then the lights hitting on it from Bristol Night Race.
Mhm.
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I want to say that was the race that I believe they did that. But for some reason, I was thinking it was Army maybe, but still Army would have been.
Similar colors.
Yeah, yeah.
Although Army may have been just for the Army.
That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm saying. I think it's more of an advertisement for Army, not the school Army.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Although
All
if
right.
Army was going to be anywhere, it would be this weekend at Watkins Glen.
Yeah. Well, nah, I didn't realize how many schools that actually.
I didn't either. I was surprised.
Yeah, when you said 9, I'm like, 9. Okay. Then I was like, okay, where are tracks near the actual school? And then I'm like, that's why I was thinking like Georgia with like Atlanta, maybe when they were doing the Atlantas and like all that stuff. Georgia Tech.
That would make sense. I mean, Georgia
then-
Tech is right there.
Yeah, and then I was thinking Texas for some reason, but I think it was Tennessee is the one actually, because I remember there was an orange car, but I'm thinking maybe now it was Tennessee, not Texas. But wow, that's good stuff, man. That's good stuff. So we got anybody that's following along with us, 3 races till we get to the playoffs, and all of these tracks, I believe anybody who's already won a race could win any of them.
Yeah.
And I believe at 2 out of the 3, you could get a wild card in it because last year a wild card won in Richmond, which was Austin Dillon, because Austin Dillon wasn't running well last year when he won that race, up until he won that race. Actually, he won it and then they canceled the victory. Yeah,
They took it away from him.
Yeah, yeah. So again, you got that. You had Harrison Burton winning in Daytona. Daytona's always a crapshoot. And Watkins Glen was Chris Buescher. All 3 of these tracks last year were new winners when they went to those tracks. It was a winner that got into the playoffs with that win. So if it happens this time, all 16 participants in the playoffs would have gotten in with wins. So that again is something very interesting to see how it plays out, because to me, I think that would be your best case for NASCAR saying this is why we do this. It made it that important that you had to win to get into the playoffs this year, and go from there. And then when you get in the rounds, like I said, I mean, honestly, man, when you look at the reset in SVG getting the points with everything he's getting now, as long as he doesn't wreck out or gets DNFs on any of those races, I believe he makes it to an opportunity till he gets to the Roval to win to get to the round of 8. Like, he could honestly go to the round of 8, especially I think if he wins at Watkins Glen and makes it his 4th win, I think he's almost assured himself of being in the 12 for a chance to win at the Roval and go to the 8.
Yeah. I can't see him getting past that, though. I'm looking at it.
No. I mean,
Vegas, Talladega, Martinsville, and Phoenix. Yeah, I don't think so.
Oval, baby, oval.
Yeah.
Not Roval, oval. All right, man. Let them know where they can get a hold of you, Spence.
All right, you can see me on X, No Doubt 87. Oh, by the way, I did go to Florida State also. I went to law school at Syracuse. I can rock both. So yeah, No Doubt 87.
So you stick
X.
with the ACC, huh?
I did stick with the ACC. Apparently, I went to ACC schools. You can see me. You can find me here talking racing now. You can find me on them YouTube streets. I'll be in the chat box. Hit me up.
The YouTube streets, huh? There's streets.
YouTube streets. Yeah.
Man.
Well, you don't hang out. You don't hang out in the streets that much, so you don't know.
No, I'm not, man. I try to stay busy, man. I try to keep my nose out of the streets.
Yeah.
No, you get messed up living in the streets, man. You end up wearing Syracuse outfits and stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? No, you can catch me at Sean. Actually, I'm sorry, Stanley Media _11 on X. Stanley Media House everywhere else. Stanley Media House Network, of course, on YouTube, Twitch, and wherever you get your podcast at. Spencer, thank you as always for your time, my friend. I want to thank Adrian, my dad, everybody in on the chat. If you're watching us on X, we appreciate each and every one of you and everything you do. I want to thank No Doubt for double duty today. He was in the chat and live on the screen. That's what I'm talking about.
El sucio de los sucios, you know what I mean?
Oh, listen to this guy. The dirtiest of the dirty. He is Spencer O'Neill. I am Sean Stanley. Next Monday, will there be a new winner? We'll discuss right here on Talking Racing Now.